How's it going, everyone? It's Josh ALBO. Today's video, I'm going to be answering a question for a good friend, Talani, out of New York. And she asked me, "Hi Josh, thanks for reaching out." So a question I have is how to gain back momentum once it's lost. Something that she's been struggling with these past few weeks, and also how to approach the cold market and prospect without being weird. Congratulations on your channel. Send me the link so I can subscribe, please. Thanks. So I'll break down both these questions separately, but it's all going to be included in the video. As always, I highly recommend taking notes in the video, like written notes in the video, so that you're more likely to remember it after the fact. If you guys have been getting value from my channel, I would also highly recommend subscribing so that you get notifications when I post new videos, so you don't have to come see me keep posting on Instagram. And lastly, before we get started, thanks for watching. So to answer the first one, how to get momentum back after you've started something, maybe seen results, but then slowly got out of it, and now you're feeling stuck. Keep it super simple. It probably is just a lack of clarity between your own personal long-term vision, goals for yourself, all of that jazz. And also remember that it wasn't an overnight thing to lose the momentum, so it's not going to be an overnight thing to gain that momentum back. What you can do to gain that momentum back is, like when I wake up in the morning, I've been waking up at 3 in the morning, doing an hour theta meditation, going to the gym at 4, doing an hour and a half workout, coming home, doing my written goal list, my gratitude list, doing visual and audio affirmations on my computer, and then I already have my day planned from the night before. So if you set up habits that create, like just purely if you do the habitual actions that create momentum for you, but first, even before the habits, again, goes back to the clarity, you have to know where you want to go. So that's what I do my meditations for at 3 in the morning. To keep it super simple, what do you want to do? Like if you could do anything, and the money didn't matter, the time didn't matter, that you would just enjoy doing. Like where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you enjoy doing? Like what's it about to you? What are you looking for? When you can answer those questions on your inside, then you can project it onto the outer world and scale from there. Once you get these questions answered, you'll have something pulling you towards your goals versus you having to try and push through, because eventually you'll lose that momentum if you just keep pushing. When something's pulling you, it's automatically creating the momentum. You'll want to get up in the morning and be excited about the long-term vision, the bigger picture stuff that you're building for yourself or the people you're helping or whatever it is specifically that you might be talking about. So here's the take notes part. Step 1, I would be writing your goals every day. I would be writing a gratitude journal every day, writing as many things as you can think of that you're grateful for. And then you can also potentially do a gratitude journal in the future sense. So write down, I am grateful, for your goal list. I am grateful for a relationship with blah, blah, blah. Or I'm grateful for goals that you haven't accomplished yet, but you plan to accomplish. This is like an affirmation, gratitude journal type thing. And then write it down as if you'd already accomplished those goals and being thankful because you know that it's going to be coming as long as you stay on your path to getting to where you want, doing the things you need to do to get where you want, which comes from the clarity. So, and then thirdly, I would say, even if you're doing a 15-minute meditation today, Ray Dalio, who runs Bridgewater Associates, which is the biggest hedge fund in the United States, has said the most influential thing habit that he has is his 15-minute meditation. Maybe 30% of the time he does it in the morning and the afternoon. But there's plenty of guided meditations on YouTube that you can go through. I would recommend sitting and not laying down because if you lay down, you're more likely to fall asleep unless you're extremely conscious about it. So start off sitting. They're only 15 or 30 minutes, but it completely clears your mind of any anxiety or stress or overthinking about just purely lack of clarity. And you can just think about, okay, well, what do I really want? And then you can do your goal list. You can do your things you're grateful for. And then if you do it every single day, and it sounds, I'm not trying to sound cliche with this, but every single day is literally your new day to be the best person that you can be. And look at it from where do you want to be in 80 years or when you're 80 years old? Jeff Bezos talks about, he was looking at everything as if what regrets does he not want to have in life when he's 80? And now he's looking at from a 90-year scale. But where do you want to be? And then reverse engineer that. As long as you're doing the daily habits that you need to be doing to get there, then you'll be fine. And everything else along the way, something goes up, something goes down, whatever, you know that you adjust the plan accordingly as you go, obviously, but you know where you're going So that could be another issue too, which just goes back to the lack of clarity, not knowing specifically where you want to go. Hope that answers that. If it doesn't, again, just text me or get a hold of me or DM me or whatever, and I'll take care of you. And then secondly, I love this question. So how do you approach a cold market and prospect without being weird? I absolutely love this question from a sales perspective because it's extremely, extremely simple. And here's why. If you have a product or service that you're putting out in the market that you know and like people buy because of your confidence and your belief in whatever you're selling. If you know in your heart of hearts that the product or service you're selling, and I know what you're selling in this case, but if you know that what you have to provide to the marketplace is of value, can change their life, can do all the things that they're looking for, then you look at it from the perspective of you would be doing everyone that you know and everyone that you can possibly reach a disservice. You would literally be like you'd be almost like being like a bad person or like not doing everything you could. You'd be harming them by not putting it out there to the cold market. This is what I can do to help you. The more you come from like a value exchange, purely give, creating the void in the universe so that you automatically receive things back by giving so much because you come from abundance. But if you know that your stuff's good, then you'll be fine. But they need to see in how you communicate to the cold market that what you have is actually good. If you like, the best sales training for you in this specific instance is probably Tom Hopkins sales training. Go on YouTube, look up Tom Hopkins. He was the first person under 18, I want to say, to sell over $1 million in real estate. I think he sold the most real estate in the United States. But his training specifically for like how you're asking the question, and I know your business model, he would probably be the best for this because he explains how to sell in not layman's terms, but in a very understandable way. And that's one of the ones that I use. His trainings is one of the ones I still use every so often, like in my car rides. I'll listen to that one. So that would be helpful. And then when the buyers see your confidence, it's not weird anymore because you're saying what your confidence expresses to them is that I'm coming to you with something for you completely selflessly. If you can put the fact that you have a financial incentive completely to the side and forget about that and look at the money as a byproduct of you providing a good value or service to the market, completely like do it as if you weren't going to get paid. Pretend for simplicity. And just do it purely from an exchange of value point where you're bringing value to the market in your product or service and you're just doing it to help them. It's not weird anymore because now you're just being a normal person that wants to help others. And oh, by the way, you get paid on the back end when you do a good job, which like it's hard to explain how value is just a byproduct, even though it's been said and it's cliche and all that stuff. But it's literally, if you just go to the market, it's so simple. And I'm not trying to sound how I sound here with what I'm saying, because I know it sounds like I'm like oversimplifying it. I'm not. If you go to the market and just say, like, if you give value to the market will tell you. It's like just from even like a purely microeconomic standpoint, from supply and demand side. So in closing with that, I would say the easiest way to approach the cold market is just have confidence in what you're selling and do it purely from an exchange of value standpoint. What you want to give them, not regardless of what you get out of it. That's just a byproduct. And then there's no concern about it anymore because you're doing it completely selflessly. How can you help them? How can you serve them? If it's a cold lead and you don't know anything about it, so you go through there and you ask all the questions that Tom Hopkins will go over in the training, and then they become a warm lead as you go through there. And then as you ask the questions about what their needs are, you fill the needs with your product or service that you have available. And it's purely like it's consultative selling. Thanks again for watching the video. I hope this answered your question. As always, if any of you guys have questions, feel free, DM me on Instagram at @JoshAlbo. Email me at summitsme@gmail.com. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I'm trying to make this extremely exclusive, so I think I'm only going to be doing maybe I think I was doing 10 people a month, but I might cut it back to like 3 to 5 just because of how detailed I want to get with it. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I have a mentorship program that I can get you involved in. It's e-commerce focused with people who already have a proof of concept or know what they want to do, but are looking for a way to scale it with the internet, and the results we've been seeing have been amazing. So that's been my biggest, that's been my easiest way to sell, is just posting the results and people reaching out, hey, like, what the hell are you guys doing where you're making the returns that you're seeing? Hope everyone enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.